top 10 things you need to know about Biblios Quill and Parchment.
Number 10, this is the third game to share the title of Biblios. There's Biblios, the original game, which is a card game from 2007, I believe. There was another Biblios dice game, and then there's Biblios Quill and Parchment.
Number 9 is the fact that you can mitigate dice, which are used for scoring, so you can actually raise and lower the point value of certain tracks within the game.
The game comes with dry erase boards, which I don't know why most roll and writes don't come with extra dry and erase boards, but it does come with 4 dry erase boards and the markers in the box.
The game comes with an A and B side of the board, which is fabulous. Both the main board and the player boards have 2 different sides, and they do play quite differently.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the A side on, I guess, the main board, the scoring modifiers are way different than they are on the other side. And then on the player boards, your traveling is definitely different. On the A side, you're just going along a path. You choose different paths to go along. And on the B side, you're just going on essentially a grid.
Right, and you can't double back over yourself, but it's a really interesting choice of movement because you have freedom.
I think one of the biggest things about this game versus other roll and writes is it's very interactive. Do you want to get into some of that and explain some of the interactivity?
Absolutely. This game, not only do you need to watch what the other player is doing, because the scoring is based on whoever progresses the furthest on different things, so that adds interactivity, but also you're moving up a chapel, which is a community space, so whoever's the highest in that regard is going to be scoring more points. So there's a lot of areas that you're constantly watching what the other player is doing. But in addition to that, you are drafting dice in the second half of the game, and you're bidding for them. So you really have to know the player you're playing, or you could end up spending all of your influence early, and they may be able to dictate a lot of what you can do later on in the game.
Bidding is a big part of this game because you're like, how much do I want to keep? How much do I want to bid against Lisa? And then the points I have left over are worth points at the end of the game too.
Yeah, and the bidding, if you bid double what the other player bids, you actually get to choose what dice that player is going to get to use for that turn. So it's not only I get what I want, but I can also give something that's not going to help them or actually hinder them.
But you wouldn't do that. You're too nice to do that.
I absolutely would.
Okay. This game comes with a bot to play. If you're playing with 2 players, the bot doesn't really get in the way, but it helps go up some of the different tracks so that when you're scoring at the end of the game, you're not just scoring, the big 1-2 multipliers. It adds in essentially a third player, and it just kind of levels out the points.
And they also, that bot also gets to go to what they call the chapel. So in that area too, it's going to be that mitigator in the scoring.
For sure.
Right inside the box, not only does this game give you an A and B side like we talked about, it also comes with a solo variant and a mini expansion, which is just that extra gameplay.
You're remiss to not mention the custom dice. All the dice included in the game are wooden, and I think they're screen printed. So
Absolutely.
It adds just a nice, cool thematic feel to the game. But I don't know if the dice are broken because in my last game, when you won, they weren't really rolling right. Or maybe the dice weren't broken.
No, I think I just, did some voodoo on them.
Okay. All right.
The other cool part about this game is it's actually played over the course of 2 different phases. So in the first phase, you are building your influence, you have some ability to mitigate your dice rolls, and there are some different areas that you can kind of control and change what you're doing. In the second half, you are using the influence that you built up in order to do the bidding that we were talking about before. So the first half, you're building that influence through dice roll, and then you are actually using it for bidding in the second half. But in addition to that, in the second half, you don't get to choose your dice and what they're coming up. There's a pool of dice, and you are bidding on pre-rolled dice.
Yeah, it's a cool mechanic. It's not a very long game. It's 20, 25 minutes, but you almost feel like there's the different halves. The first half I'm going to try to like work, at least how I play it, is I'm going to work my way up the track, and I'm also going to try to get as many points as I can to use for the bidding in the second half. And then in the second half, I'm trying to use my power that I've built up in the first half in terms of bidding, and then maybe if I can out double bid, move Lisa's dice to something else. So it has the cool kind of like first half, second half feel.
Overall, it's a solid game,
Yeah.
small box, at a very affordable price, which to us means there's a lot of value in this game.
Yeah, interactive roll and writes are hard to find, and this one's very interactive with the bidding and the dice manipulation and all the different stuff in there. So if you want something that isn't just like kind of multiplayer solitaire and a roll and write, this is probably for you.